This video shows how to summarize notes on students regarding assessment, remembering that any confidential, private, or sensitive information should not be included in the notes or uploaded into Gemini. All right, so after you've taken your notes on your phone using Google Docs, you're going to have to find them on your computer. So the easiest way to do that is to go to the waffle and then to Drive. And then if you go to Recents, you'll probably find them there. Okay, so here are the three of them that I had. So there's a few ways you can organize this. You can click on the three dots and then move them to another folder, or you can even open it and then you can click on this folder here, and then you can go to all locations and go to My Drive, either create a new folder or find the folder that you created them in and then move them in there. All right, so now I've moved them into this folder. Here they are, Student Notes Literacy. There they are. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get Gemini to help me summarize these notes in any way that you want. So I'm going to click on the waffle again. I'm going to find Gemini. Should Gemini not be there, it might be further down. And if you still can't find it, you can just type in gemini.google.com and it will take you there. The important thing is that you want to make sure that you're in your Delta Learns Google account. So you can just check that down here. And then you just have your regular chat. You have different models. Flash does it really quickly, but sometimes isn't as accurate. Thinking is a bit deeper. But for a summary, Flash is probably sufficient, but you can play around with those. But then what we need to do is add the files. So when I click on this plus sign here, I'm going to add from Drive. Now, if by chance this is ghosted or you can't see it, you may have to go down to this little settings and then click on Connected Apps. When you click on that, you're may have to turn this slider on so that Gemini can actually access the files in Drive. So just make sure that you do that. So again, that's down in the gear and Connected Apps, and then turn it on. So I'm going to go back to my chat, and I'm going to find those files, and so they're in my Drive. And because they're the most recent, I might find them here. If you don't see them right away, I would just go to my Drive and then drill down, and I know they're in this folder, and I know I put them in a folder called Student Notes Literacy. And so now I can add these ones, and I can select them all by clicking on one. Oops, here we go. If I click on the first one and I hold down the Shift key and just click on them, I can select them all, and then I'll insert them. And there they are. And now I can ask Gemini a question like, so something as simple as that, and then ask Gemini to do its thing. Now you may have to play around with the prompt. You might have to change it a few times. It may not get what you want. So here it is, Balraj, Carrie, here are all my notes on each of the students that have been summarized. Okay, and if I scroll to the very bottom, there's a couple of things I can do. One is I can just copy and then paste my notes wherever. But what I like to do then is click on these three dots and then export to docs. And then over here it will tell me that it's creating that document. And when it's done, it'll advise me of that. So it just takes a couple of seconds. Okay, now it's done. And I just click on Open Docs. And there it's nicely gathered all of my notes. And then again, I can click on the folder to organize it, so I put it somewhere where I want. Now the name of the file is always the prompt, so you can just click on that and rename it to whatever you want and then organize it. But now you have some notes here that are summarized and kept together quite easily just using Gemini.